I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Have you joined the fastest growing fantasy motorsports app yet? On Grid Rival, you can join leagues with your friends and manage your own fantasy team on what race fans are calling, hands down, the best fantasy motorsport app out there. F1 and MotoGP leagues are now live for the 2021 season. Joining a league on Grid Rival will make every race more exciting, more engaging, and of course, more competitive. Download Grid Rival now on your iPhone or Android smartphone. Grid Rival is an unofficial application and not associated with Formula One, MotoGP, or any of their athletes.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Makoni Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Makoni Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Makoni Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MakoniSetupShop.com and learn why Makoni Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to USA International Speedway, where tonight the stars and cars of the iRacing Sprint Car Cup will take on Lakeland's, well, I guess now defunct, formerly fastest racetrack for a battle of 35 laps in distance. Qualifications just getting ready to roll out onto the racetrack. My name is Chris Graham with the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have you joining us here this evening. This is round number 5 of the iRacing Sprint Car Cup season. Ryan Sellers going to be your points leader heading into this evening's festivities. He's going to be followed closely behind by Stephen Mastro. Dan Smith, Jeffrey Stanton, Chris Janke going to be the top 5. Dan Smith going to move to the top of the speed charts, 18.68 seconds. 18.68, the quick time for Dan Smith. Chris Janke going to be second quick. Now Stephen Mastro moves up to second quick on the speed charts. Picking up Mastro as he works his way off of turn number 2, finishing up his qualification run. 24 cars scheduled to take the green flag this evening. We'll pick up Josh Batista as he begins his qualification run. A lot of what we're hearing is that gear selection is going to be absolutely critical here tonight. The 4.6 gearing tends to make the car want to snap hard to the right, just like that out of the number 10 of Josh Batista, as he puts lap number 1 in the books, and lap number 2 will not score. We'll pick up the number 9 of Connor Babel. The alternative is you can run the 475 gear. However, you're hitting the chip early on in the run, and basically what that means is that you're going to be really hitting the chip late in the race. There are your qualifying times as we follow along here with Connor Babel. See where lap number 1 is going to put him on the speed charts. Going to be 16th quick, 19.25 seconds. 19:25 the quick time for Connor Babel. As always, we can get your comments up on the air. We want to say thank you for watching. Let us know where you're tuned in to the broadcast tonight. If you're watching on YouTube, you can support the broadcast by clicking the join button. Subscriptions start at $2.99 a month. Also, we do have the ability to accept super chats. It's just about a guaranteed way to get your comment up on the air. Seen our buddy S. Stinson checking in saying, let's get on with some wobbly goblins. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Saw a fantastic race. One of the best races we've ever shown here on the National Racing Network. Last night with the Silver Crown cars at Nashville Super Speedway. Hoping we get a whole lot more of that here this evening as we kick off the doubleheader of racing action, as always on Tuesday nights. But this one is going to be pretty spectacular here, because coming up next, it's going to be the TNT All-Star Race from the dirt high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway, where apparently when your humble broadcaster was setting up the server in there, apparently we didn't turn damage off. So it sounds like the PM18 race coming up next here is going to be even crazier than we may have anticipated here. As qualifications are wrapping up, you see the checkered flags up there on the screen. Let's first say good evening here from USA International Speedway. Get you the starting grid for tonight's race as the cars are going to start to make their way out onto the grid. Dan Smith and Steven Mastro will make up row number 1. Chris Janke, Jim Vig on row 2. Brian Payne and Derek Love will occupy the 3rd row of tonight's starting grid. Gwendolyn Old, Jeffrey Stanton on row number 4, Jason Brown and Ron Quinzel on row 5. Row 6 belongs to Canada's Josh Batista and the Carolinas' Zach Evans. Robbie Swan, Jason Steinhurst on row 7. Row number 8 will have Douglas Nelson and Kyle Mooney. Row 9, New York's Connor Babel and the Carolinas' Dominic Chisholm. On row number 10, Kenneth Bradstock and Josh Williams. Row number 11, Michael Bandini and Cole Bain. Row number 12, Julian Shadak and Cameron Bolton. One of the larger fields we're going to see here for the sprint cars. Looks like Cole Bain, Julian Shadak, and Cameron Bolton will be a did not start in this one. So 21 cars will take the grid. Zach Evans checking in the comments saying, gonna have to remember wobbly goblins. This will be my first iRace after a weekend up in the Midwest at Slinger and Anderson, so we'll see how it goes. Two of my favorite racetracks on the planet. I wish we had both of them here in the iRacing platform. So once again, 21 cars will comprise the starting grid. And this one is going to be an absolutely fantastic race. Zach, we've also heard these called little murder machines, is the other name that kind of sticks and comes to mind here. We ran the big Little 500, actually a sort of a remake of the Little 500 up at Anderson Speedway. We did it at Southern National back during the month of May. That race was a ton of fun to call. 500 laps in the sprint cars. Field making their way down the back straightaway. 35 laps the distance. Field's going to make their way off of turn number 4. And as always, race fans, the start of this one is all yours. Lap number 1 in the books cleanly, and it's going to belong to Dan Smith over Steven Mastro. Quarter of a second, call it 3 car lengths off at turn number 2. Tight battle back there between Mastro and Chris Janke. Also going to be right in that fight, Jim Vick, Brian Payne, Derek Love. Caution flag is out on the speedway. As a reminder, caution flag laps do not count. Trouble on the racetrack for Douglas Nelson. See if we can get you Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay on this one. See what happened to Douglas Nelson. Keep your eye on that number 19 machine up on the outside lane. A little bit too much throttle on exit. Big time into the inside wall, and he goes flipping down the backstretch just ahead of the 18 of Mike Bandini. Nelson has to take the tow back to the pit area, and unfortunately that's probably going to mean that his night will be over here, because between the tow and the repairs that are necessary, makes life very, very difficult. So getting a look here at Steven Mastro's number 2. Ryan Sellers, who is your points leader, actually not entered in tonight's race. And with only a 45-point lead over Steven Mastro, lights are out on the iRacing safety car. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a moment. Off of turn number 4, green flag goes back in the air. We are racing once again here at the USA International Speedway. Big contact back in the pack. That's going to absolutely bring out a caution flag. Several cars going to be involved here in this one. take a look back in the pack here, see what happened to Kenneth Bradstock. Yeah, that wreck actually happened well ahead of them. May have been Josh Batista that actually had the issue here. See what happened off the corner to the number 10. Oh, he got up onto the back of the 11. Couple of cars going for a wild ride down the front straightaway. And that's going to put us right back under the caution flag here. So once again, field circulating under the caution flag. For the TNT drivers that are watching the sprint car broadcast here, new session is up for you guys with the damage turned off this time. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. It'll be lap number 3 going up on the scoreboard. Actually, lap number 4 will be the green flag lap when we come back to racing here. Dan Smith, Stephen Mastro, Chris Janke, Jim Vig, Brian Payne going to be your top 5. Derek Love, Jeffrey Stanton, Gwendolyn Old, Ron Quinzel, and Robbie Swan, the top 10 as pace cars in. Fields off of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air once again. Derek Love already making a big move around the outside of Brian Payne. He's going to slot up to the 5th position. Jeffrey Stanton trying to come with him. These drivers really feel the need to get to the front early. We were hearing that you basically had to have your tires down on the yellow line in turns 3 and 4. Otherwise, that corner was going to be very, very difficult to manage. Drivers a little bit worried about possibly burning off the right front tire on the cars as well. And any extra stress that you put on that right front by missing your marks, really going to come back to bite you later in the race. As we see Stanton thinking about looking to the inside of Derek Love, he's going to do so in turns 1 and 2. Love fights back to the outside. Oh, a couple of cars making contact back in the pack here. That was the 13 of Dominic Chisholm, way down to the inside. May have caught a piece of the inside retaining wall. Pick up this fight a little bit further back in the pack. The 11 of Gwendolyn Old, the 7 of Ron Quinsel. A little bit even further forward in the field here. Jim Vig, Jeffrey Stanton get a battle for the 4th position off at turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Already 9 laps in the books. This race, it's going to tick off in a hurry here. A little bit shorter race distance than what they've run here in the past as well. Definitely going to have these drivers thinking maybe a little bit less about strategy and tire conservation, but it's going to come into play in a very big way here late in the race. Stanton gets down to the inside of Jim Vig. Vig going to fight back on the outside. Good battle down the back straightaway as Brian Payne gets it up into the outside retaining wall off at turn number 2. Stanton able to clear Vig. Derek Love thought about having a shot. Probably wisely backed out of it there on the exit at turn number 4. See the 22 machine with Josh Williams way up on the inside of the racetrack. We will stay under green flag conditions here. See if we can get you a quick hot shoe racewear instant replay. See what happened. Oh, there's the Josh Williams machine. Well, tumbling his way down the backstretch, getting caught up on the outside or inside retaining wall, and unfortunately he's going to have to head back to the pits. Chris Janke, Jeffrey Stanton get a battle into one, and it won't be much of a battle at all. Put the number 1 of Jeffrey Stanton up to the 3rd position. Approaching halfway already in this one. Caution is out on the speedway. Trouble for the 15 of Robbie Swan. Keep your eye on that blue machine up on the outside. A little bit too much throttle contact with the 19. Excuse me, that was the 18 of Mike Bandini that got into that one. But as we go back to the live look here, fantastic run so far for Jeffrey Stanton. See if we can't get a quick word with him here. Jeffrey, that number 94 machine looks pretty darn spectacular out there tonight.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it rolling good. I didn't have a lot of practice tonight and dealing with some personal issues right now, medical issues, but not in the family, but just trying to keep it going, so.
Well, best wishes to you and the family there, and good luck the rest of the way here.
Thank you.
So there you go. There's Jeffrey Stanton. Currently up to the 4th position here. He's up 4 spots from the drop of the green. We'll see if the extra wear that he's having to put on that right front tire especially may hold him up here a little bit later on in the race. $12 minutes and 45 seconds has already gone by here, but again, only 35 laps the distance. We're about 5 laps shy of halfway. Dan Smith will continue to be your race leader in the number 8. Stephen Mastro will run right back behind him. Smith's number 8 is the 47 on your screen, but he's going to be the 8 in timing and scoring if you're following along that way. Stephen Mastro in the number 2. Hoosier Tire East on the side of that machine, holding on to the 2nd position, exactly where he qualified. Same goes for the 5 of Chris Janke as he makes his way down the front straightaway and into turn number 1. Still going to have the lights on the iRacing safety car, so we're going to go at least another lap under the caution flag here. Jeffrey Stanton's been your hard charger of the race so far, up 4 positions to position number 4. Running just back behind that number 94 machine of Stanton is the 6 of Jim Vig, Advanced Auto Parts, labeled up on the side of that number 6 machine. And The Street Side Classics number 4 of Derek Love. Seeing Derek getting a little bit of love in the comments here. Brian Payne running in the 7th position. He's down 2 spots in the Fury Chassis number 14 entry. Should have the lights out on the iRacing safety car, and we do. So we'll go back to green flag racing this next time by. Gwendolyn Old currently running in position number 8. Ninth place belongs to the 7 of Ron Quinzel. And the 16, Team Watson Racing entry of Zach Evans. No way you can miss those cars out on the racetrack. Green flag going to come back in the air. We are back underway. Lap number 14 going up on the scoreboard. Smith able to jump out once again to a pretty good lead there over Steven Mastro. Here comes Jeffrey Stanton looking to the inside of Chris Janke. He's going to get up quickly to the 3rd position here. Now Stanton going to go to work on Steven Mastro. Not quite close enough to attempt to pass there. Still about 3 car lengths back as they came off at turn 2. Everybody's staying nice and polite here so far in this one, at least for the most part anyway. Oh man, big moment there. A little tank slapper for Jeffrey Stanton's number 94 machine off of corner number 2. Forced Chris Janke to back out of the throttle a little bit. Allows Jim Vig and Derek Love to get right in on the tail tank. Especially true for Derek Love, trying to get up on the back bumper of Vig down the back straightaway. Vig does a nice job holding that inside line. Battle for the lead starting to heat up here. Steven Mastro catching in on Dan Smith. Jeffrey Stanton going to be right there as well. Seems like Mastro maybe have a little bit of an ill-handling car there in turns 1 and 2 because he lost some ground to the race leader, and Jeffrey Stanton going to be right there to capitalize. Shows him a little bit of nose. Stanton to the inside off at turn number 2. Drag race down the back straightaway. Jeffrey Stanton's got to have that preferred line through 3 and 4. A little bit more grip than you might expect, though, for the 2 of Mastro up on the outside. This time by the flag stand, Stanton going to be able to complete the pass into turn number 1. Lead still sitting right about a half second or so for Dan Smith over Jeffrey Stanton. Derek Love looking outside of Jim Vig. Vig going to fall right back in line. Stanton makes that pass with ease. Brian Payne thought about trying to get to the outside, has to tuck back in. The lead is shrinking at the front of the field. Dan Smith still your race leader as we are past the halfway point, already working 23 of 35 here at the USA International Speedway. Coming up next, the TNT PM18 All Oval Series presented by Carolina Simworks, running their all-star race on the dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway. Still got about 12 laps to go here in this one. Not what the leaders want to see. One car having some glitch issues just ahead of them. That may be the 22 of Josh Williams that we saw having the issues earlier as well. Call it a car length off at turn number 2 for Dan Smith over Jeffrey Stanton. That 94 machine is coming in a hurry. This time by the flag stand, a couple of outstretched palms, 10 laps to go. See how the lap traffic's going to come into play here. Race leader Dan Smith way down to the inside. The traffic up and out of the way doesn't cause an issue for the race leaders. If anything, it did allow Steven Mastro to close in just a little bit. Caution is out. Yellow flag out on the racetrack. Trouble for Josh Williams. Take a look here and see if we can get you a Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay of what happened to Josh Williams' car. You can see he's having the connection issues, glitching out a little bit. Loops it off the corner, and he'll have to take the tow back to the pit area. Only other driver it looks like we have to talk to here potentially is Derek Love. See if we can get a quick word in here with Derek. Derek, that number 4 Street Side Classics machine looks pretty darn good out there, but do you have anything to get farther up in the field?
I think we got at least room for one more here. We're just going to try to keep the tires underneath us, keep it between the lines, and put the pedal down.
It sounded like the gearing selection was going to be pretty important here. You were either going to be topping out and living on the chip or fighting a car that just wants to turn right all the time. How does that kind of gear selection and setup change play into a racetrack like this?
For sure does. I'm running on the chip here. We went with a little bit higher gear, the 475. One thing it kind of did for me is, you use that chip as your spot to turn in, your braking marker and everything, and you got to remember you're going to start chipping out earlier, so you can't go off of it. You got to adjust it continuously throughout the race.
All right, Derek. Well, good luck the rest of the way here, bud. Hopefully we're talking to you again more as we wrap this thing up.
Look forward to it.
There you go. There's Derek Love running currently in position number 5, right behind the 5 machine of Chris Janke. Dan Smith, still your race leader. Jeffrey Stanton up 6 spots to hold on to the 2nd position. Not even the hard charger of the race, though. That's actually going to be a shared honor right now between the number 13 of Dominic Chisholm and the 18 of Mike Bandini. Good run for both of those cars. Gaining some spots here. Looks like we had 3 cars that did not take the green. Cole Bain, Julian Shadak, and Cameron Bolton. So all those cars will be listed as a did not start. Douglas Nelson out of the race after 1 lap in 21st position. Jason Brown, Josh Batista each out after 2 laps. They will be scored 20th and 19th respectively. Robbie Swan out of the race in the 18th position. Connor Babel out and done in position number 17. Josh Williams in the 22 does appear to be back on the racetrack. However, he's about 4 laps down to your race leaders. Coming up for the iRacing Silver Crown Cup next week, 25 laps at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. That is a matching race week with the Silver Crown cars. So both races will be from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. 2 weeks from tonight, we head out to the Irwindale Speedway for a 55-lap feature. Round number 8 will see Bristol Motor Speedway. We round out the season with Lucas Oil Speedway, Thompson Speedway, 5 Flags, and Southern National. Pace cars in off of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air one more time here. Lap 28 on the scoreboard. Top 2 get away pretty cleanly. Good fight going to be going on back behind them. Here's Derek Love looking inside of Chris Janke for the 4th position. Love getting those left side tires just down below the apron. Helps pitch the car through the corner. He easily claims that 4th position. The fight is on for the race lead. A little bit too much throttle pedal there for Jeffrey Stanton. Saw the car start to step out on corner exit. That's going to get tougher and tougher as you go here. Really managing that right pedal. It'll be 5 laps to go next time by. Dan Smith has led every lap of this race from the drop of the green flag, but we have not been hunting for action, that's for sure. We've seen it all over the place. In fact, we're going to have more of it back in the pack here as we'll find Kyle Mooney. He's going to be side by side with Zach Evans on the exit of turn number 2. Mooney down to the inside, going to claim that position with ease. Bringing along Dominic Chisholm with him. Zach Evans going to have to fight really hard to hold on to that 11th position. And the outside lane, as we've heard here, just does not work around the USA International Speedway. Back to the front, we got a 3-car fight for the lead. We're down to 3 laps to go. Dan Smith, Jeffrey Stanton, Steven Mastro going to fight this out for the podium positions. Stanton really sails it off into turn number 3. Good duel here at the front. Another good battle just back behind him as well. Derek Love, Chris Janke, Jim Big, Brian Payne, all separated by about 0.6 of a second. Problem is they're about 1.5 seconds behind the race leaders. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Where does Stanton make the move? Look deep into turn number 1. He's going to be right on the bumper. Stanton looks way down to the inside. Here comes Mastro to the outside. Off of turn number 4, checkered flag going to go in the air this time. Dan Smith claims the win over Jeffrey Stanton and Steven Mastro. How about 1/4 of a second from first to third in that one? Derek Love, Chris Janke going to round out your top 5. Let's get you your race results here. Smith, Stanton, Mastro, Love, and Janke, the top 5. As we mentioned, 6 through 10 belongs to Jim Vig, Brian Payne, Ron Quinzel, Gwendolyn Old, and Kyle Mooney. Dominic Chisholm, Zach Evans, Jason Steinhurst, Mike Bandini, Kenneth Bradstock back through the 15th position. 16 through 20 will belong to Josh Williams, Connor Babel, Robbie Swan, Josh Batista, and Jason Brown. Douglas Nelson comes home in the 21st position, the final car that took the green flag here this evening. So let's get ready for the victory lane interviews here. First up, let's see who we want to pick up here. Let's go with 3rd place finisher here this evening, Steven Mastro. And I tell you what, Steven, the car looked really good. Practice and qualifying, and ultimately just a tiny bit short here right at the end.
Yeah, I felt pretty good out there. It was a little sketchy. I think I might have had the wrong gear in it, so it was a little rough on the straightaways. The one took towards the wall, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, it sounded like that was one of the things we had heard some of the guys talking about pre-race was if you were at the 460 whatever it was gear, you were going to be faster. The car wanted to hook right, but if you ran the 475, it would behave a little bit nicer, but you would be living on the chip. So how does that change your setup philosophy in a big way at all, knowing that you may have to fight either a really loose or potentially a little bit tighter race car?
I mean, it doesn't change it too much. I was actually running the 84 gear, and it felt really good in practice, but once the race came around, the track temp was a little bit higher than expected, so it was just a little bit sketchy putting the power down.
Well, it was a fantastic run for you tonight here. Another good points-paying finish for you. So congratulations on the podium, and who would you like to thank?
I want to thank Hoosier Tyrese, Dave Kunzler Tire, She Pasture Nursery, WHM Motorsports. Thank you guys for putting the race on, and congrats to Dan on the win.
Yeah, it was a fantastic show you guys put on tonight. We wish we had a couple of more laps anyway, but fantastic show and a good run here, brother. Thank you very much. We appreciate the time. let's get Jeffrey Stanton into the booth here. And Jeffrey, ultimately you were, I guess, a lap short and maybe a minute late there, but fantastic run for that car tonight.
Yeah, it was rolling good. I was trying to keep it clean there. Have a good race there with Dan. I know he was struggling a little bit, having to lift earlier on this race because it was hooking right for him bad. But it was evil for all of us out there. It didn't matter what gear you were on the night. Because mine would start hooking right just a tick before I get on the chip.
It almost sounds like if this race had run the kind of normal 45, maybe 50 laps, we would have had a caution fest late in this race because it seemed like everybody had a big handful out there.
Exactly. This track likes, just for whatever reason, the long straights and the tight corners. It likes to hook right here. It don't matter what type of conditions. It could be cold 65 and it could be warm 100.
Well, a very good run for you here this evening, and once again, another good points night for you. So who would you like to thank?
Napa Auto Parts of Rockwell, North Carolina, everyone else that supports me, and y'all for broadcasting as always.
All right, Jeffrey, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. And let's get our race winner in the booth here, Dan Smith. And I'll tell you what, Dan, that 47 machine looked like it was on rails, but from the sounds of what everybody else has been telling us, it most certainly was not.
Most certainly was not. That's for sure, man. Felt pretty good everywhere except last probably 2/3 of the straightaways, and I was having to pedal and lift pretty good. Jeffrey and Steve and I were all discussing it. We were all in different gears, and I had to get a little bit defensive with Jeffrey there at the end to hold on to it, man. But yeah, how about that, man? Back to victory lane, Chris. It's been forever, and I haven't won with you yet, so kind of a big deal for me tonight, man.
You know what? It was a great run, and it was a very good points night here because Ryan Sellers was not in the show, and you're not all that far back from Dan Smith. So you're definitely keeping yourself in the thick of a championship battle here as we approach the midway point of the season, too.
Ryan being my teammate and all, man, he's in the primary car on this team, so we do everything we can to get him chasing the championship and everything. He'll be here Thursday night. But, Chris, I got to tell you something, man. This is 3 in a row now. I won Thursday night, Sunday night, and tonight. So we're going to see if we can keep this thing going, man. And I like talking to you.
You know what? It's a darn good hot streak you got going on here. We'll see if you can keep it up next week at New Hampshire. What are your thoughts as we head into that racetrack? Another big track, but definitely doesn't drive anything like this USA International.
I mean, we all knew going into the night that the pole was going to be, would have the advantage here. You know as well as I do, you get a good half a second pad, when you restart in first place or start the race or whatever, the way this works out. But anyway, going into next week, man, tonight was one groove around the bottom. We all knew it was going to be that way, and we all played nice. New Hampshire, I'm a fan of the bigger tracks. Ryan, myself, Jason, Rich, Derek, we all run really good on the big, hot, slick tracks. So looking forward to it next week for sure, man.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations again on the victory here. Number 3 in a row for you. Who do you want to thank?
I give a shout out Setzer Fabrication, Jason Setzer down in Columbus, Keith Coons at KKM, Keith Coons Motorsports Micro Program, Chris Santucci down at RELSI, my teammates Rich Foreman, Ryan Sellers. I'm not sure what Ryan's doing tonight, Chris. I know Rich is out with the midgets tonight out west. Jason here had some bad luck tonight, and Derek, I'm not sure where he finished either. But shout out to those guys, man. We win or lose as a team, so this was a team win tonight for sure, man. Chris, most of all, I say it all the time when I talk to you, but thank you for broadcasting these, man. You don't know what it means to us guys that's been in this car for 7-8 years. Have somebody like you broadcasting.
Well, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate the kind words. And with that, we're going to wrap up our broadcast coverage here of the iRacing Sprint Car Cup from the USA International Speedway. Dan Smith taking that number 47 Setzer Fabricating entry to victory lane. We're going to be coming back here in just a couple of minutes with something completely different. Indy Pro 2000 PM18 Formula cars on the dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's going to be a full Saturday night show on a Tuesday night. You do not want to miss any of it. But with that, we'll wrap things up here for everybody here at the National Racing Network. My name is Chris Graham. It's been a pleasure to have you with us. We'll talk to you in just a few minutes here from Thunder Valley, Bristol, Tennessee.